This is me on my own today, and the reason why I decided to do a live on my own today is to talk about me. So usually when I do my lives, which I've only just started to do, I may be talking to special guests, people that I admire, think a lot of, friends, could be colleagues, can be a bit of banter when, you know, I'm over at my partner's and all this kind of thing. But it's not me. It's not authentically me or representing me. And I just thought, you know what, I had a week's break to kind of work it out. And I'm like, I don't want a book in front of me listing off certain elements of what I need to talk about, because I'm more than that. And I'm more than that because I like to free flow. I like to be present in the moment. I like to speak in the moment. I like to say who I am with authenticity because that's what I am. And I thought it was important with me obviously being a healer, and I help a lot of people of all different cultures and religions. So whether you're Muslim, whether you're Christian, whether you're Catholic, whether you're Hermetic, Kemetic, whether you're Hindu, whatever your religion belief. For me, it's about the person. It's about connection with a soul that might want help, might need to heal, might need to grow. And I think sometimes we don't really look at the bigger picture, that we are more than this. We are more than this. And although there's constructed religions, which I get, and I do feel religions are important, especially when it comes to people that have serious mental health conditions or no guidance, no friends, no friend groups. I definitely agree that I feel that religion is important. So I'm not anti-religion, and obviously because I connect spiritually and I work with certain guides and things like this, I'm fully aware of what is there, and I'm fully aware of the Most High, and I'm fully aware of the darkness that surrounds people and the fight against good and evil. So I want to bring it to that. So who is Liz? So on this journey, over many lifetimes you could say, when I arrived within this lifetime, I wasn't sure who Liz was. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know how to think or feel, and we just learn from the adults, don't we? And we, brothers, sisters, happy memories, just playing and being kids and going through so many different things within life. But it's what we go through that truly shapes us in this lifetime, what we experience, what we go through. And sometimes we can go through some exceptionally difficult things within our journey and our life that give us a deeper understanding of who we are and get a grasp on our own emotional intelligence as we go along to certain feelings. Now, I don't know about you, but for me, and sorry, I have got messages coming up on the screen, but I'm not that close to read them, I'm afraid. So I'm sorry about that. But hello, whoever you are. So anyway, so over time, there's been many versions of Liz, many versions. Because when I was growing up, I can remember I wanted to learn more about people. I wanted to grow, learn, experience. I wanted to feel the good. I wanted to feel the bad. I wanted to be around the good people. I wanted to be around the bad people. I wanted to experience different levels of consciousness and deeper understanding. I didn't want to just do the same as everybody else. So when Liz is living in a 5-bedroom beautiful, gorgeous Edwardian house as a young girl. I wanted to be hanging around with the rough kids on the other side of the town that were doing bad things, that were taking substances and doing naughty things, and it was really fun for me at that time. I was free-spirited. I worked from a young age, so I was working in Chinese restaurants from I think 14, 15, and I would also work at a shoe market before and after school as well, so I worked and I experienced so much in life. And again, that could be a story for another time because there's so much that I could go into, but there isn't much I haven't been through, put it that way. I haven't been, I've experienced many, many things, many versions of myself. So I'm very good at the discernment aspect of reading into people as well. For that reason, because I can just literally read into people's energy, where they're at. Sometimes I might feel frustrations towards people. And although the spiritual community will tell you if you're triggered by something, then that means there's something you need to work on in yourself. Sometimes it's infuriating to see a version of someone that perhaps you once was, or you can relate to, or someone you hung around with, or someone you knew, and you've got an understanding of that. And you want to talk about it. You want to express it. And I never really fitted into any kind of box growing up, and I'll tell you why. Because I've had the biggest heart, people pleaser, fiery temper. I guess that in some respects, very courageous and like to step outside. If you put a line in front of me and said, do not cross it, I would tippy-toe over that line. You would not stop me, okay? Or I just have to touch. So for that reason, I've experienced so many different types of people and so many different things, and it's carved me further into the woman that I am today. Let's just say that. And you build more courage, you've learned to love yourself on the journey, and you begin to have a deeper understanding of what life is and what life is all about. But you still keep wondering, you still keep wondering, you still keep wanting to know, you still keep wanting to learn. And there are some things that within life we think we know. Further down the line you might have a deeper understanding to it, and that's good too. So we're never all-knowing. But growing up a Catholic girl and growing up with them values and things like that that were, you know, it was within the family. We go to a Catholic school, we go to church at, you know, weekends or whenever, and the Catholic club and all that kind of thing. Religion can be forced upon you in a sense, but luckily for me, my mum and dad were quite. They were kind of the generation of where they were like, well, we don't have to, she doesn't have to if she doesn't want to, okay? Although I was christened when it came to, and I did my communion, when it came to confirmation, I wrote a letter to the priest and told him I didn't want to be involved anymore. So I was a little girl, and because I was seeing within my short time as an observer from a child that I was surrounded by, sorry about that, my phone, somebody started calling my phone. So I was literally surrounded by hypocrites, people that were claiming to be great people, people that everyone would see in the streets and go, you're amazing, you're great, and they were full of shit, hypocrites, liars, deceptive, and I could see through these people, and I thought, you know what, I know that the Bible always talks about how people We're all evil on the planet, but we have to find a way back to good. But there are some generally real evil people out there that have, you know, no thought for other people. And although some of us can change, not everybody can. So I choose to help those that need the help and want the help and look for the help. That's what I choose to do in life. But again, over time, my views on, even we hear some awful things that happen in the world, and I just don't know how people could do them, especially when it involves children and things like this. It's just awful. And when you see a whole society, world, country, just turn a blind eye to it. Turn a blind eye to it because of the constructive power systems of their involvements in these different things, you know. And again, more hypocrisy. You look at it and it's just like, this is ridiculous. So if I was to, I could never put myself in a box, for sure. But I definitely would go more along the Kemetic route of the way that I look at life, which is morality, truth, justice, harmony, balance. They're my core values of who I am. And it took me many years to find that balance within myself. It took me many years to have a voice and speak up. It took me many years to realise that, yeah, we do need some form of order, which is also one of the principles. We do need some form of order. Otherwise, things can completely get out of control in this world. But we need a world that's fair. We need a world that cares about each other. We need a world that supports and loves one another. Not relays Bible verses back to people, such as that stupid, I'm going to leave it there, Erica Kirk, that is the new example, the new saint on the block, the ready-made saint, that actually is not even, she's not even talking. She's not even practicing what she's preaching, basically. Nothing she said matches her, what she's doing, her actions. I'm not saying I want to be the voice for everybody else, okay? I just want to be the guide to help others find their way so they can be the voices for themselves. And with a world of voices and a world of balanced people and a world of order, justice, truthful voices, love for one another, kindness and love, we can all make a difference. Because it seems to me the good people buckle when they get too far, when they claim to be good, because they can't handle the negativity in the world. And the negative people, they kind of meet halfway. In fact, sometimes it's just ridiculous, really, because sometimes the people that people consider to be bad people and make the assumption that they're bad people, actually you can find can be the most nicest, most genuine people you could ever wish to meet. And it's all because we've been so conditioned in our lives to listen to hearsay. Like, when you're like growing up and you hear gossip, people gossiping between one another. And they'll always be gossiping about the one particular person. So everybody dislikes that one particular person, right? You as a child, you actually fall into the trap of thinking, well, there must not be a good person, there must be a bad person. Because we listen to everybody else, okay? But then in time, with growth, you realise, I didn't hear the one they're all gossiping about talking. Why? Because people that gossip are real small-minded individuals. They don't like to see people's growth. They don't like to see people's happiness. They live in misery. And you have this switch and change of perspective as time goes on of who's real and who is not. And usually if people can't handle your voice and your truth and can't face your voice and your truth, it's because they can't face their own. Okay? They can't face their own. And it's so much easier for so many people in this world to just be complete, nasty, cruel individuals that want to bring others down. But all we need to do, whatever religion we are, is love with an open heart and generate and be of service and find a way together. And I think that's what's important, if I'm honest, because it doesn't matter. I don't need to talk about my background and my beliefs because I don't want to push my beliefs onto you. We all have our own truths and all of our truths matter. What we have individually been through matters. People matter, and I just feel that there's always this judgment of other people's life choices or cultures or religions, judgment, you know, even between colours of skin. And this is the world that we live in, where people are literally turned against one another, left, right, when there is no real left and right. You know, good and bad exists within every single religion, race, culture. And when you realise that, and you realise that some of the nicest people that you can meet and wish to meet come from different religions and different cultures and different backgrounds, you have to make your own mind up. You have to make your own mind up. Because with your own intuition, your own discernment, with love in your heart and understanding to others, if you're a balanced individual that will not only take care of their health, but their emotional, their mental, and their spiritual self. When you remain open to listen to others, when you remain open and grounded enough to, you know, understand, then we can make a difference. A big difference. But like I say, there's so many hypocrites within the world. And what you will see with me over time is, I mean, we are in planning, guys. I did say that there was some more special guests that will be coming on because we're in different parts of the world. And it's trying to get that particular day that we want. So it's not been easy to kind of get the specific days we want, but we are in discussions. And there will be them special guests. And see, this isn't just about me here now. It's me bringing the inspirational to the platform. So whatever choice you make in life to find your way back to what you consider the Most High and the light, whether it be Jesus Christ, whether it be Allah, whether it be just enlightenment in general, I want you to have the right people that can help, guide. And some of them you don't have to even, they don't have to meet with your core values. You don't have to understand or care too much for any of them. But just to be able to give you that. Because there's so many wonderful people out there. And quite easily people put down and judge different types of people because their beliefs are this, their beliefs are that. Or sometimes they're making judgments on people when they don't actually know. There's such an ignorance about, you know, certain establishments or groups or of people or religions, and it's all hearsay, it's all made up. And until you really get to know a person, you will know there's good and bad everywhere, and there's love everywhere, and each one of us have the ability to find that seed of love, find that seed of hope, to find balance within ourselves. It's a choice, and if you choose not to, that's up to you, okay? I would not be wasting my energy or time, you know, to try and be there to help somebody that doesn't want to be helped. okay? That's just the way I roll. But at the same time, I also want you to know that whatever you're going through and however tough life gets and whatever challenges come your way, if you can believe in yourself, if you can have faith, whether, you know, if you can be balanced, take care of yourself, just make them little tiny changes day to day. Nothing big. You haven't got to have it all together today. If you're not good with money, you can be good today, you can be good with money tomorrow. Just make them small steps. If you're not good with taking care of your health today, you can certainly aim for it. With anything in life, you know? No one's expecting perfection from you, but you should always be challenging yourself to be the best version of who you are. So, as you can see, I'm not very good talking about myself because I care about other people and it will just sway back onto other people. So you can see who I am. You can see this is who I am. I want to be the change that I want to see in the world, and I want the world to see that change is accessible and it's achievable and it's maintainable, but we have to be it. So I threw my notepad away. I didn't want it. Chucked it. Gone out the window. Bye. Because I just thought, no, I'm going to speak myself. I'm going to be myself. I'm going to just be authentically Liz. And we'll have these discussions again sometime. But I think that's enough for today. I was trying out the stand. And I was meant to actually try out my new mics. And I completely forgot. But that's Liz. That's Liz. So you wanted to meet me today, and there I am. So I hope you all have a wonderful day, whatever part of the world you're in. I send lots of love. And yeah, I think we'll leave it at that note. And I will switch this off.